Hello, and thank you so much for having me in another season of the internal structure and approach to the brainstem. We have, talked before, about the anatomy of the brainstem and the most important fibrous tracts in the brainstem. After that, we moved to another section of the safe entry zone of the brain of the brainstem. We talked firstly about the midbrain, and there are four safe zone in the midbrain. We firstly talked about the perioculomotor zone in the midbrain, and we say it's very important for ventral lesions in the midbrain, and the most important rule approach to reach the perioculomotor zone is by doing a Sylvian approach. Today we'll go to discuss another important safe entry zone, this area number 2 and area number 3, and also 4. Starting with the number 2 and number 3, firstly, we have here the supra and infra culture area in the midbrain, also in the posterior side of the midbrain, and very important for lesion in the dorsal of the midbrain. Here, this is the area we talk about. Is here the superior colliculi, and here the inferior also inferior collicular entry zone. So it's suitable for dorsal surface lesions. Here is a very beautiful view of the cerebral infratentorial approach, which can expose the pineal gland and also the superior and inferior colliculi. Here is the superior, here is the inferior. And we actually doing a small incision above the colliculi here, or inferior to the colliculi. So this incision is the most safest incision for entering lesions in this area. The nuclei of the superior and inferior colliculi are, just located just deep to the surface of the superior and inferior superior colliculi. The superior colliculi is very is involved in reflex of the movement of eye and head, whereas inferior colliculi involved in the auditory system. Deep to the structure of the here, deep to the superior and inferior colliculi, there is a red nuclei which extend up to the mid level of the inferior colliculi. Here, another very beautiful section for bilateral colliculi has been removed, and we see the red nuclei here, and also the decussation of the superior peduncle in this area, which positioned at the level of the inferior colliculi, which been exposed. The central tegmental tract is just ran ventral to the trigeminal mesencephalic tract. The oculomotor and trochlear nuclei and medial longitudinal fascicles, all of them located ventral to the aqueduct. Here's the aqueduct, and all the, as we said before, the oculomotor, trochlear, medial longitudinal, all is behind or ventral to the aqueduct of Sylvian. So the aqueduct is very important surgical landmarks for avoiding damage of these structures. As here we see, this is here the oculomotor nuclei. Here is the tricolor, and here is the aqueduct. The intramesencephalic segment of the oculomotor nerve can be seen here also near of the oculomotor nucleus, and the intermesencephalic segment of the oculomotor nerve pass through the medial to the red nucleus to go to exist through the interventricular fossa. Here is the red nucleus also extends up from the mid-level of the inferior colliculus colliculus to the lateral wall of the third ventricle. And the subthalamic, we can here see the subthalamic nucleus located ventral lateral to the red nucleus, and the medial also lemniscus is located lateral to the red nucleus. And here is it's called the mesencephalic sulcus, which is lateral to the edge of the medial lemniscus. Is another important safe entry zone in the midbrain. We'll talk later. And going to the fourth median midbrain safe entry zone, number 4, is called the lateral mesencephalic sulcus. This is a very important also safe entry zone for both ventral and dorsal location of the midbrain. So the lateral mesencephalic sulcus, which is positioned in dorsolateral surface of the midbrain, lateral to the mesencephalic sulcus. The lateral mesencephalic sulcus is accessible through the what's called the subtumoral approach. Here a very beautiful view of the left subtumoral approach. As we see here, this is the lateral mesencephalic sulcus, and here is the tentorium here, and here is a vein inside the mesencephalic, which is give us a very important landmarks for going to the lateral mesencephalic. And now the most seen complication in this approach is injury to the third and fourth cranial nerve, also damage to the vein of Labbe. Here we can reach the lateral mesencephalic by lateral supracerebellar infratentorial approach. Here is the tentorium. We're going below the tentorium to reach the mesencephalic sulcus, and here is lateral mesencephalic sulcus, which can be also reached by the lateral supracerebellar infratentorial approach. Here sulcus extend to the pontine mesencephalic sulcus inferiorly and reach the medial geniculate body superiorly. And here is the mesencephalic sulcus. Our incision will be here. Ventral to it is the medial, lemniscus, and the corticospinal tract actually is ventral to our incision. It's very, near from our incision. So that means we must be very, very, careful about our incision. And here is the red nucleus. Is near from our incision, also in the lateral mesencephalic sulcus, and here the oculomotor nucleus, and also this is the tricolor nuclei in the dorsal midbrain. So if you enter the lateral mesencephalic sulcus in like a straight. In right angle, we will just only encounters the red nucleus. Whereas we do our entry zone at entry to the midbrain at 45-degree angle, so that will lead us to reach the medial lemniscus in the yellow color. The depth of red nucleus from lateral mesencephalic to the red nucleus in both sides is like 5 millimeter. Here is just only a summary of our, the important entry zone in the midbrain, starting by firstly the periokilometer here zone, and after that lateral mesencephalic sulcus and supra colliculus zone and infra colliculus also zone. And by this we finished the safe entry zone of the midbrain. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll continue our safe entry zone in next lecture, inshallah.